About a question.
Go
Somebody
for
was
it.
having a discussion with a guy, and since I got you three geniuses here about these foreign affairs and things of the world, and y'all keep up probably a little bit better with those things than me. What would you say motivated Saddam Hussein to start his quest?
What?
What do you think provoked him?
Tony, look, Saddam Hussein was a 1959 CIA asset. We put him in power in 1979, I believe was the year. We gave him everything. We allowed him. He was our strong man. He was basically...
Until he got out of hand, Nathan.
Yeah,
he got out of hand and stopped obeying the New World Order rule book. Go ahead.
No, you're totally right. That's right. He wanted to pay back his debt. He didn't want the oil to be backed by the U.S. dollar anymore. So he bucked the system. In many ways, I'm not saying Saddam was a good man, but he's really...
I realized
he was better than Donald Rumsfeld.
No,
you know what I mean? He's a better person than Donald Rumsfeld at the end of the day.
Look, here, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get Tony's response. Unfortunately, Tony, America has become the biggest terrorists in the last 100 years. We've overthrown 60-plus nations. We've killed innocent women and children all over
Europe in World War II.
All over the world.
Doing it again.
To wave a flag. So, and yet, as Americans, we cannot see that. We see red, white, and blue flags, apple pies, and this is what we see, and we don't see our transgressions. Saddam didn't come here. Assad didn't come here. Gaddafi didn't come here and bomb us. And this is my whole point is we have to see the plank in our own eyes before we can see, their splinter. So go ahead, Tony.
All right. So you think that Saddam was doing what he was doing as an anti-American retaliation?
Or nationalist, I think is what Nathan was saying. He was a nationalist, and we didn't like that. Once he became a nationalist, and he wasn't our, he was a bad dictator. But once he stopped being our, bad dictator, that's when we didn't like him anymore. But go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
Was he anti-Islam then? Was he after them? Did he feel like
he was anti-terrorist? He didn't like terrorists.
Yeah. Saddam was a pretty moderate when it comes to most of these people. Aren't really these fundamentalists like they make you believe. The fundamentalist comes from Saudi Arabia, our biggest ally. See, our ally...
Nathan, correct me if I'm wrong, if you disagree with... I think what you're trying to say, like, if you're a nationalist, you don't like terrorists coming into your nation. If you're a nationalist, you're a nationalist. And that's what the globalists don't like. They don't like nationalists. That's when you start reading headlines saying... This guy's a nationalist.
Hey, Tony, we're coming to the break. I want to keep you on. I want to keep you on for this last segment if you can stay, because this is a great conversation and you're adding a lot of fuel, to this conversation, and we really, really appreciate it. There. Yeah, stay on the line. We're going to come back to you, let you finish up, and we'll discuss this. Look, they don't like you bucking the system. They don't like nationalism. The internationalists, that's why they don't like Trump's message, regardless if Trump is 100% real, if he's not real, or if he's been co-opted or whatever. The nationalist message, they cannot stand. You have to subscribe to this New World Order band of globalism, which is all, together. And that's what they want. They don't want you standing individually for your sovereignty. Battle of New Orleans Radio will be right back.
All right, we're back. Battle of New Orleans Radio. Myself, Payday, Nathan Lawrenson.
And Tony.
Tony, continue on, man. You got the floor there with the last segment, if you have any more questions.
Guys, let me throw out this to you now. After all the considerations, everything you just said, could Saddam, or do you think, I'm just conjecturing here, was he a toy? Was he something to throw out there that caused the exploded this? Because ever since he's done what he's done, we have spent the last, 30 years over there?
Stabilized them, relocated them.
Remember, Papa Bush was the CIA director.
Yes.
How is it that we had CIA, FBI, NSA, ASA, AAG, and I don't know, Jenny Craig could have spotted that Saddam Hussein was a lunatic. But how did we not see him doing all of this?
But Tony,
it's just a tool to provoke all this stuff in years of war.
Yes, more yes and more yes. Okay, this is all, look, go read the PNAC doctrine, Project for a New American Century. Look, this was completely put out by the neocons in 1997. It was a complete destabilization plan. They needed a new Pearl Harbor. They put that out June or July of 2000, said they needed a new Pearl Harbor.
They listed the countries they would destabilize. Right?
They needed a new Pearl Harbor to set this off. Their new Pearl Harbor, they got it with 9/11. Saddam did not perpetrate 9/11. It was mostly Saudis, but we know these Saudis could not carry this out with box cutters on a plane and then fly planes into these buildings, into the Pentagon. There's no proof one plane ever hit the Pentagon, not one picture. There's not one video, none of this. It's all garbage. They lied to us. It's crap, Tony. They lie. Dude, here's the thing. Jimmy Carter is the big new, really, it's the big new Brzezinski put in power Tim Osman, Colonel Tim Osman, a.k.a. Bin Laden. Bin Laden's CIA name was Colonel Tim Osman, okay? They're all CIA assets, all of them. None of this happens without us. We created the Mujahideen, which morphed into Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda morphed into Daesh and all these other groups, Al-Nusra,
we have ISIS.
that turned into ISIS. That's correct. All of this are CIA, MI5, MI6, and Mossad creations that are essentially ran
behind it. Behind the creation, you have the same family smiling at you, like a Hillary Clinton is on the outer porticos of the creation of ISIS.
No.
You have a McCain who created this thing.
Yeah, McCain's got videos and pictures with him meeting with the heads of ISIS people. And look, I call in to Jeff's show. God love Jeff. Jeff gives us his platform. Thank you, Jeff. But I call in and beat this drum over and over and over and over about how we created ISIS. This is in all the intelligence reports, and it's all provable. And then the next call, they move on. Oh, let's fight ISIS. How can we fight ISIS at the same hand that we created? What's your take on that, Tony?
Well, there once again, we're looking at all these players on the chessboard. That's I was talking to someone about this. We got all this stuff where all these things have provoked it. So we have all these players for the last 30 or 40 years that have been playing on the chessboard.
Same players.
And one of all I can say now is, and I'm glad you all brought it up in the beginning about the spiritual discussions. Can we say, even if we say I'm the agnostic or I'm this or I'm that or whatever, I believe in Jesus, I don't believe in Jesus, if we say there's the Creator, has all of this escaped him, and where is he taking us on this journey?
That's a great point, great question. Tony, we got to roll because our other...
I enjoyed you guys. Love it, man.
Man, thank you, Tony. Thank you. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for all the information.
Great call, Tony.
Absolutely.
Excellent call,
We got
man.
2 minutes left, guys.
Let's run the Caleb.
I just want to say real quick, I had a dream last night, a most lurid, vivid dream. You know, watching the news is like, it reminded me, I had a dream of an old cartoon, and it goes like this, and those old enough to remember would know. Which way did it go, George?
Yeah.
Which way did it go?
They keep us chasing.
He went that away.
They keep...
And they point both ways, right?
Yep.
He went, that's like what's watching the news is.
Yeah, right.
He went that away.
Roadrunner.
Payday, let's